Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. If you attend any of my shows, I always open it up the same way because again, you're going to hear this for the probably millionth time. But I love the fact that regardless of where we are in the world, or what time zone we are in, we can all come together in one place at one time and have amazing conversations. So super excited that you guys are here at Coffee with Denise, which is on Fridays at 10 a.m. Central. That's Houston, Texas time. And, here we talk, I talk about sales, AI, and humanity. My sales is Sellovatorz on Tuesdays, Caff-AI Chat on Wednesdays. And this is really the human aspect of all that I talk about. It's really focused on bringing amazing humans, introducing them to my community, my network, my friends, just LinkedIn here, and getting to know a little bit more about them. And so I'm super excited today to have Anna. But before we do any introductions, please let us know where you are tuning in from, whether you are Team Live or Team Replay. If you're on Team Replay, be sure to leave us a hashtag Team Replay so we can come back and engage in conversation with you. I'm here in Houston, Texas, but Anna, share with us where you are located.
I am in Limerick, in Ireland and south of Ireland. And I'm absolutely delighted to be here. So thank you very much, Denise.
Awesome. Yay. Thank you. So welcome to everyone who is out there joining us. Let us know where you are located by dropping us a comment and we will engage back with you. We'll also feature your comments here on the live. But now what I'd like to do is, I always share a little bit about how I met whomever is joining us on the show. And I'd like to share a little bit about how I met Anna. So without spending a whole lot of time focused on me, I went through this journey of healing. And as I was embarking on that journey, Anna and I happened to both be on the same challenge with an amazing individual named Lee Tunnyware. If you don't know him, go follow him. But we then joined we were on the challenge together, and then we both joined his cohort. So I had been in the cohort we've been in the cohort for almost 2 years now. On the other side of that journey of healing, life is grand. I'm sure people can see the difference in just my growth and just who I am and my business and all sorts of things over the course of that. Lee and the group in which Anna and I are in have really just helped me tremendously. So I've known Anna for a bit of time, and I'm talking, we get pretty raw, we get vulnerable. We kind of share things not only about ourselves, but we also have to hold one another accountable in this group. We call each other out sometimes when we need to. It's a pretty tough group that we meet once a week for an hour and a half. So I've known Anna for a bit of time. I had most certainly done a one-on-one with her, but it really wasn't until here recently where we decided out of the blue, I don't even remember what prompted it, Anna, and maybe you can qualify that. But out of the blue, we decided that we should jump on a call. And on that call, another call. So this was our second real one-on-one. We get on this call and we decided we wanted to become accountability partners. So I'm going to be really honest. I don't know that we always hold each other accountable right now. Sometimes we just get on the phone and just talk a bunch of, I was going to use the word shit. Sometimes we just talk about all sorts of random stuff.
That has to be done too, Denise, right? That definitely has to be done too. So
It does. So we are on the phone every morning on the weekdays. Well, most mornings on the weekdays at 8 a.m. my time, 2 o'clock Anna's time. So we carve out 30 minutes and we jump on the phone to either most certainly hold ourselves accountable for specific activities. And sometimes we use that time to actually execute on those activities by turning the Zoom, going on mute and doing our activities while we're on the call together. Sometimes we're just trying to uncover what we're trying to hold ourselves accountable for that day or that week. And then sometimes we just shoot the shit. quite honestly, sometimes what we do. Sometimes that should include some brainstorming and some
That's what
really
I was
fun
going to
stuff.
say. I think
Yeah.
the main part here, Denise, that we actually share what we've learned. And I love that part about, I'm so looking forward every day, 2:00, as your 8 a.m., right? But you said what prompted us to do that? Exactly that word, accountability. And I think you mentioned about your book. As soon as you
Oh,
said
yes.
that's what
Yes.
it was. And I said,
Okay.
okay, book, that's interesting. Me going through this process of being part of a collaborative writing book, again, back to Lead to Anywhere, right? That's the source of what most of the projects that we involved. But when you mentioned that, I said, okay, how we can make that happen? Because I think we talked about time management, didn't we? So we're getting
We did.
so busy, we're getting so involved in so many things. And the next thing I was like, okay, I kind of have the same issue. How are we going to fix that? So then our daily meetings are just 30 minutes. Yeah, sometimes we do kind of hold each other accountable. But every time that we have our call, there is another insight, another learning, or a great laughter, which, it's part of back to what you're really all about with your lives, Denise. It's about humanity and how we're going to keep that going and keep that strong, because we are humans by the end of the day, and with the way we're programmed, we need other humans around us. So, and that's why I'm grateful for our time together. So thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, I am so excited that you're here. Well, before I have you actually, because I just really introduced and Anna and I have now conversed on how we met, how we've kind of grown our relationship and all those fun things. But I'd like for her to do her own introduction. But before I do that, as an FYI, we all know that LinkedIn and StreamYard had some problems this week with the integration. There are several people who are actually commenting on the live right now, and I cannot bring their comments up. Like, it is not showing up in StreamYard. So I just want to recognize that that Chella is out there, Raquel is out there, Michelle. It looks
hello,
like
Raquel and Chella. Brilliant. I'm so
yes.
delighted to hear those names. I can't
Yes.
say anything either.
Yes, and Chella's tuning in from Orange County, Raquel from Texas. I know Michelle didn't put that on here, but she's up in Canada. Chella says accountability is key to success. Michelle says she's loving the authenticity. Raquel says familia, love seeing you ladies. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Michelle did say Ontario, Toronto, Ontario. I mean, Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Man, I'm struggling. So yes, Anchella says Soren may or may not be out there, but anyway, I will keep an eye on the comments. I just cannot show them. So I'm looking at my other screen. I cannot show them up here because they're not populating in StreamYard today. So I do apologize for that. But now that we've gotten through a lot, the quick how I met you and welcoming everyone who's out there, and Murad says, keep it up. Oh, I sure hope I did not butcher your name. I'm so sorry if I did. But Murad, thank you for being out there as well. And now I'm going to pass it on over to Anna, because I would never do her the justice that she deserves when introducing her myself. So Anna, if you would just share with everyone a little bit about who you are and, whatever else you want to share, and we will take it from there.
Thank you, Denise. This is kind of no, I would like you to introduce me, but anyway, I go with this, right? So you told me that you're going to put me on the spot, so thank you for that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, where do we start? Okay, my background is accountancy, and it's something that I didn't think that I'll be part of ever, because as I was growing up, a family of doctors, everybody's in medicine, and a first granddaughter in a family obviously had to take the same path, which I did. So before I go to my accountancy and everything else that I did afterwards, I actually, I'm qualified paramedic and midwife. Didn't really practice much. I had a couple of months, no, almost a year practicing in one of the hospitals, but I knew that it's not for me. I had to be somewhere else. I'd taken too much pain back home. So quickly, my love of maths and physics transformed into accountancy. I finished that, but yet I didn't practice accountancy, because straight away I moved into operations management and learning and development. And I guess that you can see my passion is for working with people, and I love learning from others. I love sharing wisdom. So that all led me to operations management for almost 30 years. And recently, and probably everybody can, or many people can relate to this, since COVID, things have changed really the other way around for me, being completely in person. I am almost 100% now online business. And one of the things that I keep saying to myself, I'd love to have a business that it will be location-free business lifestyle. So keep repeating that myself. And here we are. I'm building my relationship with you. We never met, but we have so much shared between us over the last 2 years. And the COVID brought me to another way of learning things, which was online. And I did not believe in online learning or anything distance before. That brought me back to Trinity College and then through Kingstown College. So I enjoyed tremendously being a student there, and now a few years later I'm actually one of the tutors in Kingstown College, and I absolutely love the interactions, love being with students, being part of that team, and also learning a lot from my students there. So no, it's been an incredible journey. Love diversity, Denise, and if you want to describe me, that's all it is diversity and collaborations, accountability, 3 words that can describe me. And I'm hoping that I inspire many others by leading by example. So I love doing what I preach, and that's what I'm about: diversity, collaborations, and accountability. So
I love that, because I do believe that as we continue to I'd like, if Lee were paying attention, he'd say you shouldn't be using the word future because the present is the future. But if we're going to continue to evolve and grow, the only way we are going to sustain our businesses in the future is through collaboration, right? So I'm using the word future, but that's even today. I mean, today, the only way that we are truly going to be able to grow our business is to collaborate. So I love that. And collaboration doesn't have to just mean collaborating from a business perspective either, right? So
absolutely not. And the way we started, Denise, and I think that I love the authenticity part of that. We didn't plan it. We didn't have a big business plan how we're going to go about it. But within couple of weeks we're doing this now, there is so much learning happened within that 30 minutes that you can finish a couple of courses and go have a couple of degrees, you still will not have that real-time learning environment. And there is no business talk really, we just share our experiences and back to humanity words. So yeah, really happy to be here and share that with others.
I love that. I love obviously a lot of things today because love is my word for the day. But let's talk a minute about accountability, because I want to go back and learn more about you, but I don't want to forget to talk about accountability. I do believe that as individuals who, whether you are in the corporate world, whether you're an entrepreneur, maybe you're a stay-at-home mom, it doesn't really matter. I think accountability should always most certainly happen from within. At least that's what I feel. I do believe that you do have to hold yourself accountable. But the value of having a partner to help you with is we've got so many things that we want to hold ourselves accountable to that sometimes it can be a bit overwhelming. So you focus as yourself, as your own accountability partner, focus on the things that you know you can. And for the things that you need extra help and push with, find someone that you can call as your accountability partner. Like I have Anna, I have Chella, I have a couple of, or a few. Actually, it's really just you two right now, I think, that are my accountability partners, of whom I really count on to help me. Like Anna, it is purely around, it started purely around writing a book, but it's expanded from there. Chella is all about business. I mean, in our individual businesses, we hold each other accountable for prospecting and just the normal nuances within the business. By the way, Goldie is out there and she says, that's awesome, Anna. She was talking about when you defined accountability, accountability,
collaboration. and accountability.
So Goldie was saying that's awesome. So thank you for being.
Thank you very much. I can't see anybody, so thank you. I'm relying on you, Denise.
Yeah, well, and I can't bring anyone. Normally you can see the comments in StreamYard when they populate and I can show them up on the screen, but I can't do that. So thank you for everyone that is out there. I'm going to try to remember to mention that several times throughout to let you guys know we're not ignoring you. I am watching you on the other screen and I will get to you. I just can't bring it up. But we thank everyone for being here. But, you know, so I think it's important for us to talk just a few moments about accountability, because I think people forget about either one, there's one camp that says you have to hold yourself accountable, which you do. Mm-hmm. But I do believe there's the camp that I'm in that says, and maybe there's more than just two, but the camp that I'm in that says, hey, I need to hold myself accountable for the things that I know I need to do on my own, right? But you can't do it all because we are continuously wanting to learn and grow. So you have to choose sometimes others who can help you in the areas that maybe aren't as important as the ones that you've already started to hold your own self accountable for, but are still important enough that you want someone to help you along the way. What are your thoughts on that?
There are certain level of vulnerability in that, Denise, right? When you hold yourself accountable in your head, within yourself, you have a thought, you want to do it, but there's still tiny bit missing. Do you want to call it fear or something else? I don't know, how we can describe that. But when you voice to somebody else and you share to somebody else where you want to go and you get the support, and I don't mean the one that say, yeah, you're right, you're great, you go. They actually will hold you accountable. They may challenge you in a way. How realistic is your goal where you're going? Maybe it will help you to review on something. But when you actually shared that thing that you want to achieve, that goal that you want to achieve with somebody else, they have their own goal to achieve. In collaboration, of accountability collaboration, what happens then? You're not competing, but what you're actually doing, you're supporting each other, and it adds to your continuous motivation. In fact, you don't even think about motivation. You're just doing it because you're not on your own, and it's fun to be with, and you have a place where you can raise your concerns. And that's where the vulnerability part comes in. So to me, collaboration is a place where it's a safe place where you can actually express all your wins, express how great and things going really good for you, but yet you have a place where you can have your concerns raised. And that's the part that when you're on your own, it's quite easy to give up. And we all been there, right? I am the same. There are days that you don't want to do things, but you know that 2 o'clock calls come in today and I have to talk to Denise. So I have something to say. I have ticked the boxes. I guess it makes just a bit more fun. And when it's fun, you're more relaxed and you really want to achieve. And we all strive into that, aren't we? We want to enjoy what we do. We want to have the fulfillment, but there are days that you don't feel like it. And those days that you have somebody, your accountability partner, your collaborator in that really lifts your mood. And suddenly you have wings that you didn't have before that call or even before that interaction with that person. So that's why I stand with accountability.
I couldn't agree more. And Goldie says accountability collaboration is what she says.
Yeah, yes. Accountability collaboration. Another thing, and I'm like you, and obviously Chella is another girl in our group. So hi, Chella. And people like we surround ourselves with, and I have quite a few collaborators or accountability partners, we say. But the outcome of that, Denise, what happens over time, magic happens, should I say, that actually transforms in some places in collaboration in business. Right. And it's really magic happens now, but you have to be open yourself. You have to have that open mindedness and be sure that whatever you learn, you're not keeping it there because it's no good to you after you've learned, you've done it. You pass it on to somebody else. And I found collaboration is the way to do that and hopefully inspire others by leading by example.
Yeah, Goldie says accountability can be fun. And like you said, Anna, it can lead to other things. So for example, with Chella, we have a business venture where we've actually, it's a company called the Profit Trio, and her and I are still kind of figuring out. So we have that, but we're still kind of figuring out where else we can continue to partner with one another. But she refers me to clients, I refer clients to her. So we become a referral, and we talk almost every single day as well. We just happen to talk live and randomly ad hoc, not necessarily at our scheduled time. But we also live on the same continent. So we're, we are 2 hours different.
Yeah. Do you remember we tried later? And speaking of Kingstown College, some of the courses we deliver there, it's 6:30 to 9:30 my time. So by the time I finish, it will be almost close to 10. You close everything. And then remember, we tried that time for you and for me. And I remember first week I'm saying, how am I going to keep up with this? Because when you get up very early with all the time zones and that, but it was great that we both talked about it and we found a solution. We find another way. And that's probably another thing about accountability. You always find another way. 2 heads are better than one. And, ideas will flow when you're in that synergy with each other. So, yeah. And on that note, as you and Chella, it's another guy, and I'm very soon, you heard about him a lot, Thomas Crotty, and we actually launching our own podcast, History Back Again, Leads to Lead Anywhere. How I end up in that group, maybe I should mention that, Denise. When I met him first, I just said, where is the problem? You seem doing well and all of that. I say, yeah, but I have something there that I always wanted to, but I didn't know how. And it was kind of a fear. And here I am on your podcast live, right? So what I asked him, I would like to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. So that led me to Paul Rees from his lives for his YouTube channel, went to Thomas. And now we have our own Sean, which started with accountability just on walking. He wanted to walk. I already was walking and said, okay, why don't we be accountability partners? And it's really, really taken off now to a next level. And we actually have our own show to launch. And speaking of accountability, I never could have done the amount of walks that I'm doing now, which is nothing to do with business. But I have to give credit to Paula McNicholas, which is another accountability partner for me, purely on walking. Days we don't talk, but we're linked on Strava. We're using technology to help us to be accountable to each other. She has her goals, I have my goals, and we're just looking, okay, did you walk today? Did you have time today to be out of your office? And it's absolutely beautiful, to keep in touch like that and get things done. And I couldn't have achieved that if not accountability partnerships. So.
And Chella says that Thomas Crotty is brilliant. She adores him, she said. I don't know Thomas yet, but I hear a lot about him. Yeah,
I will. Nearly every time we meet, so it's coming.
Yeah. Well, even just in the short time you and I now have, we have a third person in the equation where, he is really focused on leadership. You've got, your focus is on decision making and really a decision making methodology. And then, I focus on sales and sales leadership. And so it's a likely union. And so we've got a couple of different things that we're working on, which is super exciting, right? So, and that all came about, Peter and you and I are both working with Peter, supporting him for LOS Global, right? Which is a leadership program. We come in as faculty, if you want to call it, for a lack of better way to describe, and we have an opportunity to help him working with his clients and elevating the things that he doesn't really focus on quite as much. We get to come in and talk about our experiences so that we provide his clients a much more well-rounded solution. But you and I and Peter together might not have really gone down that path. Or maybe we might have, but at a little bit of a later date, had you and I not been engaging every morning. So,
absolutely right.
It's amazing.
You have to get out and you have to do it. You have to try. Otherwise, if I'm in my office, nobody knows about me. How are you going to make others to know that you're open to that? So by only communicating, yeah. And you mentioned leadership, and then myself, then yourself, the sales. In collaboration, what I believe happens, and it doesn't matter, accountability collaboration or any business collaboration, that's where you complement each other with the skills and expertise you have. And I think we're much stronger when we have somebody else who is better than us in certain areas. And that when real business happens, real accountability happens, and get things done, you're actually moving forward much faster, and you're not on your own. And speaking of Peter, I say we started as accountability in learning, right? We support each other on different topics. We support each other on maybe getting the message right. And now suddenly, without saying a couple of months ago, you know, this way we're going to go, it happened organically. And I believe the same with you and many in our group, that now we're thinking how we can actually do something together. And yeah, and absolutely love the process. And again, we have to thank Lee, because he's attracting really great caliber of people into his network, and we all gel together. So, which is brilliant.
Well, I do think it does. I mean, let's go to that for a second. You know, so Lee is one of those amazing people who, you know, you can meet a ton of people. So if you're in his community, Goldie says that she loves the way Anna thinks.
Oh, thank you, Goldie. I definitely have to have now a chat with Goldie. So
yes, I love her. So you need to make sure you reach out to her. She is awesome. Yeah. And so, you know, it's surrounding yourself or putting yourself out there in communities that, so I've got Lee's community and all of those people. And then I've got another one, Corey. He's actually someone I'm going to feature today on one of my posts, because I mean, that man is freaking amazing as well, but in a completely different light, right? You've got Lee, who helps you he'll help you, as you call, code breakers, that really is about helping you get past your trauma, your drama, all of that from a personal perspective. But he also then helps you in your business. Corey helps you. Corey helps you in a lot of different ways as well. So I really am working with him on my LinkedIn and really, doing a better job of putting myself out there as a thought leader and forcing myself to really step outside of my comfort zone. But he's also an AI expert and just an amazing individual. So you learn so much. So and because I trust him, I've started to have, and that's where I met Goldie, for example. I mean, that amazing relationship. And Soren, who I don't know if he's out there or not, but he commented earlier. Those two I met through Corey's group. Lee, Michelle's on here. I met Michelle through Lee, Chella through Lee, Anna through Lee, right? It's these amazing communities that if you put yourself out there and start to engage with them, you can build some amazing relationships that turn out to be maybe just simple friends, but also potentially even partners and collaborators, or affiliate relationships, referral relationships. I mean, there's so much that you can gain. And Chella says Lee is amazing and attracts brilliant people. Well, hell, he attracted you and I, Anna and Chella and Michelle, right? I mean, we're all amazing people, right?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And one word you said there, engage, because one thing to be in so many networking platforms, meetings, groups, name it, it's available, it's just there, and now you can just click and you're there, right? You don't even need to leave your room. But the engaging part, I think it's crucial. If I will say that you respect your time by respecting other people's time. So if you're part of that network and you're contributing, you engage, and you actually open to any opportunity that's there. Not all of them are for you, but they might be for somebody else you know. So because of that, I think the engaging part, back to accountability, right? Do you want to be part of any network? Why do you go there if you don't participate, if you don't engage? So for me, sometimes it's very much challenging in terms of time management, but if you focus and make a decision on that, it becomes really part of you being during the working hours, as you call, or outside of your working hours. Because the other day we were celebrating happy birthday with Peter, just had a quick call. Even so, I said, no, strictly no business. It didn't work that way, but it was nice to have a quick call. Somebody that I never met before. He's in Canada, I'm in Ireland, you in US. So how we all connected, but the quality of time we have in together, the quality of exchange information, is that what matters. And that wouldn't have happened if we didn't engage. So thank you for that word, Denise. That's another nice one in my vocabulary. So.
Well, hold on one second, because before Goldie goes, she said, thank you for this engaging discussion. She needs to sign off now. So thank you for being here, Goldie. And I think you and Anna need to connect. So thank you again for being here. I agree. You know, there are a couple of things, maybe one. So when you talk about engage, so I think it was Michael Carr this morning. I think it was Michael. So Michael, I'll tag him in here. I don't know if he is even on here paying any bit of attention, but I think it is Michael's post today. He talked about, you know, when your employees are late to a meeting, you need to make sure you look at your timing. Are you punctual? Do you start your meeting off? When you are, when your employees are overwhelmed, is it because you might be overwhelmed? When you talked about, if you are in a network, if you're not engaging, then you're not going to get any engagement back, is essentially what we were talking about, right? Yeah. I think it's what I would define that as, the law of reciprocity. Now, I'm going to say that's not really only I really heard this more from Corey. So Corey Warfield, for those of you, I've already mentioned him a couple of times, but Corey Warfield, that he talks about the law of reciprocity all the time. But it is so very true, right? You're only going to get in what you put out, and others are only going to give you what you give them, right? So when you want something, or when you are not seeing something as you would like, it's looking at really how you are engaging, reacting, responding, whatever you want to use to describe. So it's really looking at yourself before you start, and making sure that you're doing what you need so that you get what you want back, if that makes sense.
You know, when you were talking about that, Denise, it's not necessarily that we look in stuff for people that we're given to, right? That would be an exhausting process. Can you imagine, think and remember everything? But I live by one of the little story always saying that my grandfather used to say to me as I was growing up, and he's one of my role models. And I guess my business is built from building, continuing the legacy of my grandparents. But he used to say, do good and throw it into the river. It will find its way back to you. So it means that you never know where it goes, but do good. So
I love that you say that. I did not know about your grandfather's saying, but I say this all the time, that it is not that you should go out to serve so that you will get served back, but when you do good, when you lead by serving, you are, one, being more positive, and so you're just putting positivity out there, right? It's also, you know, amazing for the energy that you're putting out there as well, if we're talking about the universe and energy levels. So you are creating that higher energy, that positivity. And so while you're not doing it to get anything in return, the result, though, is that when you do good, when you lead by serving, it will come back to you. The law of reciprocity, it will come back to you. Maybe not in that exact moment, maybe not with that exact person or that exact situation, but at some point, it's going to come back to you.
But you know, when the most, said at some point, usually what happens, to my own experience, it will come to the point that you most need it and least expect it. It happens so many times, yet and yet. I say, okay, how did that happen? And it's a beautiful feeling and a great reminder that do good. You don't need to look back, just do good and move forward. No, that's what I live by. And I hope that a lot of people resonate with that.
I'm sure they do. And I'm surprised Chella hasn't actually commented, because this is, she talks about this all the time as well. I didn't even realize, I don't know if you realized, or maybe I'm wrong. I need to look at the we've already been on for almost 35 minutes. And time has flown. This has been an amazing conversation, and I've had a lot of fun. We didn't even really dive into as much about you. We just went into just amazing conversation around accountability and doing good, the law of reciprocity, leading by serving, and so much more that I don't even know that I can summarize everything. But I do want to start being respectful of, or I do want to be respectful of everyone's time and start to get where we're, closing out a little bit here. But maybe if you were to leave some lasting or some parting thoughts with everyone, what would you want to have everyone remember from this session with us today?
Yeah, we talked about many different things, but I think maybe we will stop on that one of do good and move forward. It will find you in the very near future. Just have really deep focus on that. Things become much easier.
Yeah, I like that, because that's it resonates with me, because I think the same thing. I think my last thought would be, as you're going out there wanting to do good, sometimes it becomes a bit overwhelming because you've got so much on your plate. Hold yourself accountable for what you can. Find ways when you have to do it by yourself to write it down, put a timeline on it, find ways to truly be able to hold yourself accountable. But also seek out accountability partners, because you never really know what can come of those conversations, those relationships. So do good. And in order for you to continue to do good, make sure you have someone there to hold you accountable when you can't always.
Yeah,
that's what
I
believe.
Look for, let's say, accountability collaborations. So we live with that phrase with everybody and see what happens.
I love that. Yes. So there were several people who were out there today. I'm so sorry that we could not highlight your comments here on the screen. I also am sorry that I've had to look at another screen continuously to make sure that we're covering everyone who's engaging, because it's not showing up on my StreamYard. But I do want to thank everyone that is out there. If you are on team replay, just let us know by leaving the hashtag team replay so that we can come back and engage with you.
Yeah, absolutely. We will. Yeah, if anybody has a question, we definitely will come back. And I'd love to hear the feedback and the comments. And thank you.
Definitely. And so thank you to Murad that was out there. Soren, I think, may have been out there. Raquel, Chella, Michelle, Goldie, although she's already gone. We thank everyone for taking the time to be out there and being patient with us, as, again, we haven't been able to see your comments unless we're actually looking at the LinkedIn screen. As a reminder, we're here every Friday, most Fridays, 10 a.m. Central Time. That's Houston, Texas. Next week, however, is 4th of July week, so I am not doing any of my normal shows. I may come back and do the human behind human AI cells. I may do that pop up all week long. I don't know. But the regular shows will resume the following week, so we will be back here in 2 weeks. Otherwise, in 2 weeks, you can find me on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays for sales, AI, and humanity. And then I have a couple of other shows sprinkled in there. So the best way to contact you, Anna, I know, is leveraging your LinkedIn handle down at the bottom. It's scrolling along the bottom. It's Anna Rooney Ltd for limited. But is there any other way, or what's...
No, I think LinkedIn is the best way for now. We'll start conversation there. I hope to have a Zoom call, because I'd like to know the human behind the LinkedIn profile, definitely. And just to say thank you for Chella, Michelle, and Raquel that are supporting us, that I know, and I'm looking forward to meeting Goldie and the rest of them. And thank you again, Denise. I really enjoyed. Time just flew. My God, almost 40 minutes now.
I know, it has flown. Yes, again, and thank you for being here. I appreciate you, Anna. I appreciate our time together. I appreciate everyone out there today. I'm hoping everyone has a wonderful rest of your day. It is Friday. Go out and enjoy whatever time is left as we finish out this amazing week, and have an awesome weekend. I'll be out on the ball fields and then celebrating 4th of July in our community. So I look forward to hearing how everyone's week was when we all come back next week together. But have a great rest of your day. And as we end the stream, I'm going to turn on some music, and Anna and I can hang out for a minute while we wait for the stream to end. So to avoid the awkwardness, we're going to play some rock.
Oh, that's very good.
It's cool.